Okay, I just wanted to kind of look at the Aspire Veynom Air Pod mod, if you like, sub ohm. And I bought one last week. I actually bought two. And one of the annoying things that I found was due to the EU laws and regulations around size of the pods that you can use, certainly coming from my current setup, which is a Squonk mod that has a 10 mil capacity tube, going to one of these with a 2 mil tube running sub ohm. It doesn't last 5 minutes. So it got me thinking, had a look online, found that they sold 5 mil pods for the Aspire. They're completely empty ones, obviously without the coils, as you can see here. So these are the empty ones, and they're completely clear. You can fill 5 mil in there, put your coil in as you would. So here's one I made earlier that they again can be filled up for 5 mil. When they sent it out, it came with the 2 mil pods. So what you're seeing here now, I'm just going to hold this one up, is a 2 mil pod. And as you can see, or not see in this case, all of this is completely blocked up at the top here, and you get this tiny little gap just down here for your refills, which is 2 mil. Now they sell, as I say, they sell the 5 mil and they sell the 2 mil empty pods like this as separate products. However, upon looking into it in more detail, I noticed these kind of black areas up here. All this is a rubber kind of bung that they've put into the pod itself. Problem is you can't undo them because they're completely glued down by the looks of it. I've tried to take them apart. They don't come apart. To take the bung out, you can't. However, there is a way you can do it, and it's just through that hole itself to pull it through. Now, it's not easy, but it's not too difficult. And what I've done, I've taken this kind of tool here, which is actually for teeth, to scrape off any nasties in your teeth. But I've used it to get inside this to pull it out, and I want to show you how I did that. So, as I mentioned, you kind of go through this main sensor hole here, and you kind of need to go into the back corners to pull it out. What I would suggest is give it a good clean, wash it out with some water, and that will also help you loosen up the bung to be able to pull it back through. So I'm going to show you how I do that now, just as I'm going here. So as I say, I'm going to pop this in an angle, and I'm going to come in right at the back into the rubber, and it is just rubber. You can push this in to then pull it out. I'm going to try that now. I've done this with about 3 or 4 of the other pods I've had, because I bought two sets of this, which then gave me a couple of pods in each. So I'm just going to start pulling out that pod, that rubber bung. And what will happen is, as you're pulling it out, that didn't work. I ripped the rubber. This is the other problem, is that you need to make sure you get a good grip of the rubber to be able to get it out. Okay, now what you'll notice as I'm pulling that out, you'll now see that it's coming out there, and I'm going to push this through just so I can get some purchase on it. Okay, so that's now like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start pulling at it and pushing it up just to get it out, and here it comes. Okay, so that's one side out, and I'm going to keep pulling, and there we go. That's it fully out. So that's the rubber bung that sits inside of it. I've not damaged this in any way, as you can see here. Let's double check. There's just a bit of juice. I thought it was a scratch. And then at the top here, again, now you can see this is a completely empty chamber that I can then start using for my refills. And so I've turned a 2 mil pod into a 5 mil pod. You'll pop your coil back into it as you normally would there, and you'll now see that this is just like all of my other empty clear pods, and this horrible restrictor that they've put in is as simple as that to take out of the bottom hole. I hope that was useful for anybody that's got this pod mod. If you've got any questions or any advice or anything else you want to mention, please pop it down in the comments. Thanks very much.